Hello, hormone hackers. This is Amber with the Hormone Hack Weight Loss Program. You will be hearing this. This is going to be a podcast, and this is also going to be on my YouTube channel and probably upload it to Instagram and Facebook. But today I wanted to get you caught up on what I've been doing because last week I didn't really get a lot of good content. I got good content out there, but not as much as I usually do. So if you've never met me or we've never met, I am Amber Rounseville with the Hormone Hack Weight Loss Program. I developed this program after having some trouble in my mid 30s getting weight off. All the tactics I used to use all of a sudden decided they weren't going to work. And I was getting actually opposite results of what people uh, a little bit younger than me were getting. So as people were losing weight and leaning out, I was gaining weight and gaining fat, and I couldn't figure it out. And then went on a long journey to figure out what in the world was going on. And it all came back to my hormones being changing earlier than expected. And then me actually going through my food and figuring out that I was eating the wrong foods, including healthy foods that were actually making me fat. And now I'm taking all that information, I put it in a lifetime membership program, which you can go check out at thehormonehack.com/life. On a personal note, we are full-time RVers. Currently, we are at Topsail Hill Preserve State Park in beautiful Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. We got tired of being in debt and not being able to do what we like to do and being kind of slaves to everything else that we own. So we've done a year and a half ago. So we sold all of our items, got everything down to a truck and a camper, and we have our dog and our cat with us, and we are currently debt-free and enjoying a very simplified, lower stress life, which some of that stress did contribute to the weight issues I was having. And definitely, I know everybody has issues with stress in their life, so I really try to tell you that you can overcome that with eating how I tell you to eat and how we hack our foods. So today's podcast episode, it has been not quite 1 year since I started this podcast. I started, I believe, on the 30th of January last year, but we've come a long way. I so appreciate everybody who comes on and listens to this. And I just ask if you really like it, share it, let me know, give me feedback, tell me what you want me to talk about. That can help you even more than what I've been really trying to do. And I've got free stuff out there. You can always go to thehormonehack.com/hacks and get in my emails. And I give out recipes, tips, and it's just a real easy way to stay in the loop constantly, because I've learned with weight loss goals or any kind of goal you're getting into, everybody thinks there's a secret sauce, and there is secrets to a certain extent, and there are tactics that are involved. But I think a lot of people get the misconception out there that, there's got to be that one secret thing that happens, and then that's the biggest turnaround in whatever issue I'm facing, whether it's a financial goal, whether it is a career goal. If you want to do things, or you're an entrepreneur, then there's just this one thing that happens, that just changes. Weight loss. I think that one thing people get confused with that really happens versus the work that goes into it is just they get that transformation finally. It finally makes sense. You may have heard it 1,000 times, but it was the 1,015th time that you heard it, maybe in a little bit different way, that put the click up here, that made it anchor down, that got you going on that goal. And so I'm hoping that at some point, anything that I say will do that, will be that game-changing moment that says, I get it. I have heard it 5,000 times, but on the 5,059th time, I heard it this way, and boom, that's that secret sauce that makes that transformation start and makes you anchor down, like I say, and start going through the process. So honestly, the secret sauce to weight loss is there's no real secret. I mean, the secret is, in my opinion, it's taking a plan, it's finding a plan. And believe me, there are a million ways to weight loss goals out there. It is like it's trillion-billion-dollar industry. There are a million ways to weight loss out there, but it's finding the plan that works for you and a strategy that works for you. And you can call it a diet. I don't believe in diets. I believe in lifestyle. I believe the word diet Diets are just a letter or two off from the word die. And diets were not meant to live. They are short-lived. They are a temporary experience people go through, and they repeat that experience over different periods, times of their life, typically going after the same goal. It's usually a cosmetic goal. They want a flat tummy. They want a boost to your bottom. They want a smaller waist. They want muscular arms, whatever it is. It usually comes down to that. But you get all those things anyway when you focus on the lifestyle. Lifestyle's meant to last. Diets were meant to die. Okay. And one true thing, and I promise you as the day is long, I learned through this whole experience is I was a professional athlete in my 20s. I had been always a physically active person. I did personal training. I did taught it and worked with people on it for myself too. And I kid you not, I never, ever, ever had the body that I ever really wanted. And I never saw my abs. I never had the flat tummy. I did not have the legs I was looking for. I always had the arms. That was always kind of a natural thing, but I always had the bulky shoulders. I had this complete opposite, quote, look that I was looking for, this vain look I was looking for, because I was always focused on it. And so that would cause me to run through a million different diets and a million different workout regimens. And I would work really, really hard and still never do it until my body made a shift, decided it was going to store everything as fat, and everything that I was eating healthy was going to just go to my stomach, go to my legs, go to my shoulders. I lost my jawline, my neck got big, until I really got to the heart of the problem, which was food. And I focused on my food and I forgot about all the other stuff. I kid you not. The body that I was looking for finally emerged in my late 20s when I was like 39, 38, 39. It happened. I kid you not. I remember the day I was in the restroom and I was like, what is wrong with my stomach? Something's wrong with my stomach. There's these lines, there's these shadows. Like, what is it? It took me a while to realize, because I got real worried and concerned. It was my ab muscles. I had never seen them. And for the first time, I had a 4-pack. I mean, I was just thrilled. I couldn't even believe it. I had the cuts on the side. I wasn't even trying to do it. I was so focused on my food and focused on making my workouts complement my food that I wasn't even like, I was just thrown off with the results, because that's where my focus went. And it's just like, I wish I would have got that concept years ago, So, when you focus on your food and you understand that 80% of your results by the time you are in your late 20s for some people, mid 30s and early 30s for the majority, and then for sure your late 30s into your early 40s and beyond, it goes to the 80-20 rule. 80% of your weight loss goals and your fat loss goals are going to come from your food. 20% of it is going to be from your exercise. And if you're experiencing weight gain from your exercise, there's a problem, because I did the exact same thing. You cannot exercise your way out of poor eating habits anymore. Your body could do it at some point, but it cannot do it anymore. So just be aware of that. And so today I'm going to tell you the secret, which I kind of already have. The secret is to have a plan, get it out, write it out, structure it out in your head, whatever you got to do, get it out. If you need a plan, I've got one. It's called thehormonehack.com/life. I have the implementer in there. That is your strategy plan. And after this Friday, the price is going up, because I will physically be mailing you the plan in a 3-ring binder, and you will be able to take it apart. And that's another video and another deal that I'm going to do here later this week and show you exactly how it works. Again, I've been showing you how it works. Very simple. And then you do the work, because I teach you what you have to do. It's not that it's hard work. It's not hard work. It's just work. And then takes the time, and it's rinse and repeat. It's rinse and repeat, and it's rinse and repeat. And you do it day after day after day after day. And then pretty soon things start to happen. Honestly, if you really implement this formula that I give you in this program, which for my program, it is intermittent fasting plus breaking your fast in a timed eating window with good fat plus good clean protein plus more good clean protein and fat if you want it, and carbs, and you do this over and over and over, you get your weight loss goals, and you don't live in a world of deprivation, and you have fun with it, because now, you know, I'm there to help you hack your favorite recipes. I tell you when to eat it, when's the best time, and I'm telling you what, I have an amazing cookbook that is my grocery list, literally, and it's inside that program. But this is my formula, and this is what happens. And if you never listened to anything else that I had to say to get weight loss, today on the podcast, I'm going to share with you just two things, and I'm going to show you the second one. But if you did nothing else, changed nothing else, but did these two things, you would still have weight loss and fat loss. I promise you. The first thing is, if you intermittent fasted, if you only did intermittent fasting, you would have some sort of result with weight loss and fat loss. Meaning, if you are accustomed to eating from 7 o'clock in the morning till 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, grazing all day long, and you took that grazing and you narrowed it down to a 12, 10, or even 8-hour window, didn't even change the food, you just changed the time, you would actually have results. That's number one. Number two is, this is a big game changer in a lot of people. If you would just hack the current foods that you eat by looking at the label and not buying anything that had colors, that's your key, colors in it or numbers in it. If you took out the numbers and colors in your food on the ingredient label, if you mix that with the intermittent fasting, you would absolutely have weight loss and fat loss. So I'm going to show you 3 examples, because the intermittent fasting one, I got everything out there. You can go back and look through it, but I will tell you your ideal window, if you can get to it, is the 8-hour eating window and the 6-hour eating window are your most ideal to get into if when you work yourself into that. That is the most bang for your buck. That's where you're going to see skin tighten. That's where you're going to see anti-aging. That's where you're going to see skin issues correct themselves. You're going to see hair issues correct themselves. You're going to see muscles start to correct themselves, and you're not even working out. Seriously, you're going to get muscle tone out of it. That's it. And there's a lot of stuff out there, and I'm going to continue to do it, but that's not for this podcast. The second one is, if you just took colors out of the ingredients on your food, when you flip around your food label and look at it, the color and the numbers out of it, you would absolutely lose weight and fat. And I'm going to show you an example right now. So here we go. I am going to talk about 3 common items that are bought at Walmart, Target, every major store in wherever you live. It doesn't matter where you live. This is all the same. Okay. So I'm on Walmart's grocery aisle, and the first thing I am going to talk about is shredded cheese. This is great value. Let me show you the label here. It's hard to see, but this is, we'll blow it up. Sharp cheese. Okay, this is the block cheese. Okay, that's the block cheese. And then I believe this is the shredded cheese. That's the shredded cheese. Let's start with the shredded cheese. Now, when I teach you about hormone hacking and weight loss and things, and when I tell you to break your fast with good fat, and part of that can be cheese, this is the one that I do not want you to eat. And we're going to go through it right here. I'm going to show you. So in Great Values mild cheddar shredded cheese, it's already shredded for you. Here are your ingredients. Cheddar cheese, pasteurized milk. They put in cheese culture. They add salt, enzymes, and here's number 1. I said numbers and colors. Annatto color. It says annatto. I think that's how you say it. It's ANNATTO, color. And then they have potato starch, powdered cellulose, which they tell you right there, they add it to prevent caking or clumping, and then a chemical product called natamycin. It's called a natural mold inhibitor. Okay, listen, this is shredded cheese, okay? Shredded cheese. They add color to it, and then they add an ingredient that they make in a laboratory called natamycin and powdered cellulose. If it is a laboratory ingredient that is man-made and they add it to your food, that is an additive or preservative. Those are the 2 biggest ones in this shredded cheese. If you take those two out alone, and you would have a better cheese. So do not buy shredded cheese. It has the color in it, an added color, and it also has additives and preservatives. Powdered cellulose, natamycin. What happens is when you get the additive and preservative in your body over time like that, your body has to fight it. It is foreign to your body. So as your body is working its metabolism and it's burning fat and it's losing weight and you're running just on all cylinders, and you add these in over and over and over, it throws a wrench in the system and it shuts down the whole operation. And now your body goes from running like silk to fight mode. And when it goes into fight mode, anytime your body has to go into fight mode, it will start storing things as fat. And that's where you see this stuff. Now, I'm going to go back to the block cheese. Same cheese, but in a block form, okay? Ingredients: pasteurized part skim milk. Okay, it's a little bit different milk. Cheese culture, salt, enzymes, and then a nano color. And all they add is vitamin A. They added the vitamin A. If it says the vitamin in the ingredient, by default, just know it's coming out of a laboratory. It's man-made. Now, of these two cheeses, if these were your only two options in the world to be able to buy the proper cheese for good fat, I would be buying this one right here, the block cheese. Do not buy the shredded cheese. It has more additives and preservatives than the block version of it. Okay, it does. Now, I want to do a side note. I went to Walmart this morning. I saw this cheese. I actually did a comparison. It is cheaper for you to buy the block cheese, 8 ounces, than it is to buy the 8-ounce shredded cheese. So not only is the shredded cheese not good for you, it's more expensive. And I believe it was like 5 or 6 cents more expensive. So if you tell me that trying to eat healthy is expensive, I tell you it's not. A, if you're intermittent fasting, you're not eating as much, so you're not buying as much. And number two, it's things like this, the little things. Buy your cheese in a block, not shredded. You will save money. Now, moving on to the second item. This is also from Walmart. I know people who drink a lot of these. So this is I'm not going to say atypical, but this is one of many similar protein shakes that are out on the market. This is called Premier Protein. Now, if you're somebody who thinks that I'm just going to drink my lunch meal, or I'm going to drink my dinner or my breakfast with one of these, and that's my meal, I want to enlighten you on what is exactly in these Premier Protein shakes, okay? This one was the chocolate. Right off the bat on the back of the label, it says chocolate naturally and artificially flavored. Bam, right off the bat. Okay, ingredients. The first ingredient is water, and then they have a milk protein concentrate. Okay, milk protein concentrate's going to be an additive. Typically, when you're reading labels, you're going to know that the most important ingredient will be the first ones listed, and then it goes down from there. Okay, just so you know. It's typically how they do it. Now, in America, if you're listening in a different country, I'm not sure how your food labels work, but this is how it works in America. After you've got the water milk protein concentrate, you've got calcium caseinate. Caseinate. Cocoa powder, which is processed with alkali. When I talk about cocoa powder or cacao powder, this is not the one I'm talking about. If you see the word alkali in the ingredients, just know it's an alcohol sugar. Alcohol sugars are the sugars that get absorbed into your intestine. They do not get digested. Doesn't happen. Okay? And it contains less than 1% of high oleic sunflower oil. High oleic sunflower oil is high genetically modified sunflower oil. So they've got a little bit of that in there. The natural and artificial flavors. I don't even know what that means. That's just like a generic blanket for whatever else they're putting in there that they're not telling you. There is a inulin, cellulose gel, and cellulose gum. Those are things that your body do not digest. They absorb it in your intestines. That's where bloating can come from. They add salt. We're going to assume it's the iodized salt, the laboratory-made salt, which is terrible. If you are using iodized salt, you need to throw that away. And you need to be using pink Himalayan salt, kosher salt, or unrefined sea salt. All right. Sucralose, sulfame potassium, carrageenan. Okay, as I'm going through these and I'm butchering the names, if these are all things that have been created in the laboratory and put into your food. Okay, they added a vitamin and mineral blend, because I have to go down, a DL alpha tocopherol, vitamin, they're calling it a vitamin E. That's an additive. Remember, I said if they add the vitamin name into it, it's going to be a laboratory made vitamin. You don't want that. Zinc. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. I can't even, there are so many ingredients in here, I can't even begin to pronounce half of them. There is also, I wanted to let you point out that here's another vitamin they added. They added vitamin B1, vitamin B12, vitamin B6, vitamin B2, and going back, vitamin K1, vitamin E. Those are all made in a laboratory. They are not natural to your body. They do not come from food. They come from a laboratory, and they insert it into things like this. And then they call it like a milk protein drink. All this is a laboratory made foreign to your body concoction of stuff that you drink, and now your body fights. It fights. It does not burn fat or lose weight. If you do lose weight on this stuff, it's because you're in calorie deprivation and your systems have all shut down. So then when you go to try to eat normal again, or try to eat normal, back to your old habits, you gain it all back because you've sat in calorie deprivation and you've really have taken a toll on your body. Now, I learned this, where this says gluten-free on the bottom, the very last thing under the ingredients, there is a U and a D, the capital U and a capital D. If they're circled, this is what they mean. So the U is circled on this label. The U means that it's kosher certified, and it's been certified by a Orthodox Union kosher organization. Okay. If the D is circled, it means that it's dairy. D is for dairy. So it says it contains milk, but it doesn't have any, it's not even, it's circled on this label, so I'm confused. If this has milk, why is the D not circled? Just the U, that it's kosher, it's been kosher certified. So this is what I'm saying. Labels can be confusing, but I'm telling you the simple ways to figure this out is if it's a color or a number, it comes from a lab. If you cannot pronounce it, you better not put it in your body, because that is what is made in a laboratory. Okay, now, are we going to be able to get 100% around this? No, but I will tell you this, if you have more real ingredients in your food label than you do these kind of things on your food label, then you have leveraged. And that's what this is about. It's leveraging your food. We can't be perfect because we're not set up for perfection with the US food industry, but we can use leverage, and leverage works. All right. And so if you have a food and you have 20 ingredients in there, if you have a food ingredient and food that you're looking at and it has 20 ingredients, I guarantee you 75% of it are going to be exactly what I've been trying to tell you and that I've been butchering off of this protein shake. So just know that the less ingredients, the better. And if you got them less, I'm going to say less, meaning like somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 to 10, and most of them are real ingredients and not the other, you have leveraged your food. And those are just some key concepts to keep in mind. And you'll get better at this as you guys keep working through your food labels and going through things. And finally, the third thing I wanted to show you was Welch's Tropical Fruit Snacks. Okay. Everyone's heard of these. Your kids probably eat them. You've probably eaten them at a time or two. But this is Welch's Fruit Snacks. This is actually on Target's website. All right. So let's look at their label. First of all, they claim on the front that fruit is our first ingredient. Well, we'll remember that and look when we get down to the label. It is also an excellent source of vitamin A, C, and E. Has no preservatives, and it's gluten-free. By the way, you guys, gluten-free is just a marketing term that if they can use it, they will. And it doesn't matter the other stuff that's in it, they don't care, because they know that you're going to focus on the gluten-free, because gluten's that additive in grains and breads that that give it the taste and keep things formed together, and it's not natural to bread. The laboratory makes it. Okay. That said, let's go down to the ingredients. The first ingredient, now it's claiming the first ingredient, the ingredient fruit is their number one ingredient, but what is it? Fruit puree. So now it is fruit. They're not technically lying, but puree means it's been mechanically altered to a certain extent. And they're saying grape, peach, pear, banana, mango, kiwi, and passion fruit. The second ingredient they got in there is corn syrup. Well, corn syrup is one of the most genetically modified foods on the market, and number two, has artificial sugar in it, and all that's going to do is spike your insulin. Boom. Once your insulin gets spiked, your body starts storing things as fat because now it goes into a fight mode and it's trying to figure out what to do with what you just put in the body. Third ingredient, sugar. All of sugar is modified too, and if it's modified, it becomes a foreign entity to your body, just like these crazy names of all the other ingredients we just talked about. It has modified cornstarch, gelatin, citric acid, lactic acid, natural and artificial flavors. Remember that blanket phrase they say, which is scary because there ain't no idea what that really means if they're not telling you. Ascorbic acid, vitamin C. See, they're claiming they're putting in the vitamin C through ascorbic acid. They've created that in a lab, all right? And now you've got alpha tocopherol acetate, which is what they're calling vitamin E. They created their own vitamin E in a lab. Then they have vitamin A palmitate. Okay, so they again created their own vitamin A instead of letting food have its own real vitamin A. And then sodium citrate, coconut oil, carnauba wax, annatto color, so they add color to it, turmeric color. They say they add that to it, and then red 40. There you go. That blatantly tells you, and blue 1. So you got numbers and colors in here. All right. And that is what I'm talking about. And I'm hoping that these 3 examples enlighten you, because wherever you live in the United States and wherever you shop, this is what we all experience. It doesn't matter. So the deal is you do need to leverage your food. I am about leveraging and teaching you how to leverage your food so you can get results. And because I have a lot of people in my program that are perfectionists and they have that high standard, which I absolutely love. The reality is that the food and pharmaceutical industry sets us up for failure. So when they add these things in, because these are made in a lab, these ingredients are made in a lab, they get approved through the FDA and to be put in our food. And then the pharmaceutical industry watches all this. And when you start having trouble with your cholesterol and your blood pressure and all these other things that are coming around, they have a medicine for it. Well, they think that the doctors unfortunately have 2 classes in diet and nutrition and 8 years of school, and they don't really know how to teach you how to be healthy. So they do the best they can to the best of their knowledge. But then 30 days later, you're right back in there because that medicine doesn't work and you have to go on another one. So pretty soon you went from 1 medicine to 5 in the course of 12 months, and you've run the cycle of having to go to the doctor every 2-3 months to get checked and to see how these medications are doing. So, these are the things that I'm talking about. And if you're tired of running the hamster wheel of it, if you took nothing away, because I did give you a lot of information in this today, if you take nothing away from this but 2 things, do these 2 things right now. Put your eating in a timed eating window, and then start taking the numbers and colors out of the ingredients on your food labels. Just try those 2 things. Do those 2 things alone, and you will see a difference. Now, if you really want to get this out of your system and you really want to get focused and you really want to have your body running on all cylinders all the time, and you really want to leverage your food, then please go to thehormonehack.com/life and get into my lifetime program. The implementer is amazing. It literally sits you down and puts you every day. I give you like 21 days worth of forms. They're not even forms, they're templates, and they're 1 page long. You circle your timed eating window. You put in what food you're going to eat to break your fast and your timed eating window, what your second meal is, and finally what your third one is. And it is all right there, and it's color coded to the recipe book. So you don't know what you need to break your fast with, or you need some ideas, you find that color code and you go over to the recipe book. Oh, cool. I get to break it with Amber's super coffee or whatever I called it. I have a mocha in there. Oh, I can break my fast with that? Amazing. Yes. Oh, or maybe you can do a fat bomb, or you can do your nut milk. It's all in there. And that is the best way to start getting things straightened out. This is not a diet, this is a lifestyle. And when you focus on the food, forget the exercise, focus on the food, put the exercise away, cancel your gym membership, get off the exercise train thinking that is going to be the key to your 80% success. You're putting 100% effort into 20% of the puzzle. Put 100% effort into the 80%. It's the food. There is a place for your exercise, but unless we straighten out your food and get you on that track, it's going to absolutely 100% work against you, and it's going to cost you money. Okay, so put it away. Focus on the food, and I promise you, the results you're looking for with your flat belly, your butt, your arms, whatever it is will come. And then we put the exercise back, and pretty soon you are an unstoppable machine. So if that sounds like something that you want to be and you see that vision, then please check out my program. But if you take nothing else away from this, try it. Just do the intermittent fasting. Get into the 8 to 6 hour window. Ideally 8 if you're not used to it. If you're used to eating 14 hours a day, work to the 12, work to the 10, work to the 8, and you should be able to do that over the course of 30 days. And let me know, just that alone, how much of a difference that makes. Just that one aspect alone. So anyway, I thank you guys for tuning in today. I'm so happy that we are into 2020. I cannot wait to watch you guys accomplish all your goals. And if I can help you, please let me know. Please like and share this. And if you don't know, I'm on Facebook and Instagram at The Hormone Hack. I'm on Twitter at my name, Amber Rounseville. I'm also on YouTube at The Hormone Hack. And I'm also on LinkedIn at my name. So if you guys need to find me on any platform, you'll find me. So anyway, I hope this helped you. Please let me know. And I will see you on the next video and or podcast.